so flippin' back. Alright. I don't know what day this is. I think this will only be like the fourth YouTube video. It's not my fourth day trading though. But a fourth video made. Or fifth. But I really need to lock in tonight because I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm like super tired. And my brain is like melted. So yeah. Let's hope we can have a good start to the week, eh? Alright, so let's see what we have here. I've marked out, I know it looks like a lot of highs, but I have my fair reasoning, alright? So don't judge me. If it works, it works. But I've marked out these highs. This one's already been taken out. So I've marked the highs out. I've marked these ones out here as well, just because I like to know where all the possible highs are that the market could potentially be heading for. Even if they're not likely, I just like to have them there marked just in case. So, you know, for whatever reason, if it's just, you know, skyrocketing, I know where to put my levels. And then that way I don't have to go back and try to find the highs. It's a mess. Anyways. Alright, and we had a massive sweep of liquidity with this low right here, which also created a new, was this a, yeah, well, I mean, it was a new week opening gap, which has already been filled. So I'm not too worried about that, but this came all the way down to here, which swept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of highs, which is crazy. So look, on the 4-hour chart, we've just been consolidating for a little bit. Like, look at that. There's no real direction. Get down to the 1 hour, we have a little bit more direction. However, it still looks a bit, you know, it's a bit choppy. So, I'm honestly, after seeing this sweep of lows down here, and then from Asia, and then New York comes in and sweeps out. Oh, sorry. See, my brain is fried. Let me reset. So, Asia had this big sweep down here. And then London came in, right? And swept these lows in here, these lows here. Alright, and now we've started the reversal, which literally we're going to have a break of structure. Pretty much now. You know, there's still 30 minutes before this candle closes, but I mean, it's pushed above it, and market opens in 1 minute. So I am fairly bullish, purely because we've had 2 sweeps of lows and now a reversal. So I'm going to be looking for these highs to be taken out. Okay, market is open. What I want to do, we have a breaker structure. Do we have the inverse fair value gap? Yes, we did. So, I mean, the breaker structure hasn't closed technically, but we have an inverse here. All right. So I'm just checking if we have an S&T, which doesn't look like we do. But since we've had the manipulation and the reversal start before the market actually opened, what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale down to the 5 minute, and we're going to wait for confirmation on the low time frame. So we need a break structure, inverse fair value gap, S&T, or 79% extension. So yeah, but I am going to keep an eye on these smaller confluences like this. Fair value gap here, they got respected on the 5 minute. I don't even know if this, would this be, hold on. So yeah, I think it's gonna continue bullish, to be honest. But I am gonna stick around for, if I am right, I'll stick around for a second trade because there are a lot of lows that need to be taken out as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like this and then like that, or you know, something like that. But we'll just see. We'll wait and see. Patience. Is this on? Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, we have a 1 minute equilibrium that hit just here. So obviously it comes up, peaks down, buying pressure out. I'm just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, like even here, this, oh bro, there we go. This 1 minute fair value gap that got respected. I'm just gonna mark these off, but I still do need confirmation on the 5 minute before I make any decision. I wouldn't be, man, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, it's just sweeping a couple highs to take out the rest of these lows. I feel like if it wanted to take out the highs, it would go down first, but I don't know, we already had the sweep and manipulation on pre-market. Oh man, I did deadlifts for the first time in months today. I did back and deadlifts, and like I can feel my back gone already. So I'm gonna wake up nice and sore. Alright. Here also, this looks like, no, never mind. Bro, don't go up without me. Man. Bruh. Don't leave me behind. Oh, what is this? Hold up. 710. Oh, but this is still pre-market. I don't think that counts. So I'm just gonna leave it. Oh, bro. Don't do this to me. It's like technically we do have a, you know, an inverse for value up in the low time frame, but the thing is, it's that's pre-market, so I need to see manipulation in the market now. I think that's the whole point of scaling down to the 5 minute, waiting for the manipulation, because otherwise I could just enter based on, you know, previous session manipulation, high time frame. What I've been working on and practicing when I backtest and re-go over my trades and do all that jazz is actually trying to get better at entering earlier, because in my previous trades sometimes I will not trust myself and I'll be unsure, and I'll literally just wait until I see like 400 confluences hit, and then by then, you know, the market's only, price is only going to go up like that much more before it comes down, for example, you know, and like the whole time your whole bias was right, for example, it's bullish, right? But you wait until like up here to enter. So I've done that a couple times. But then at the same time, you need to balance, you know, finding the confluences and trusting yourself and getting in before it's too late, but also being patient and not rushing into it with like FOMO. You know what I mean? And entering because I see 3 blue candles here. So it's really important. That's what I'm trying to work on right now. Yeah, I mean, Rose, I don't want it to leave without me. I could be making money right now. The fuck? Like, come back down. Ah, but this is like a test, bro. Like, the urge to just enter because I see 4 blue candles. But it's like, bruh, don't do it. I need to wait for my confirmation. Wait. Spider Pig, Spider Pig does whatever Spider Pig does. Alright, you know what? I promised myself I would make a reel out of this. So, that's what I'm gonna do. I just need to think of some wise words. Alright, I got it. Now, this touches quite close to home. Okay? But anxiety. Something people very close to me in family have dealt with for a long time. Something I have dealt with for a very long time. And I know it affects a lot of people. I would say more people than not are affected by anxiety at some point in their lives. Some worse than others, yes, but I know everyone experiences it at some time, at some point in life. I think I found. No, listen up. I found the equation to solve 90% of your anxiety. Right? Now, hear me out. If you struggle with anxiety, listen to this and listen to this very, very carefully, okay? You can control more than you think you can control in this life. Now, hear me out, okay? What is anxiety? Anxiety is the fear of the unknown, essentially, right? It's the lack of control in environments, in specific situations, right? And that's what causes most anxiety for people is when they feel out of control or they don't know what's going to happen in the future. They can't predict it, they can't control it, okay? And so the beautiful thing about this, and this is what I had to teach myself and come to the understanding of myself. Man, is even though you can't control everything, you can control more than you think you can. Okay? And the way you can control 90% of your life is simply by a lot of brutal honesty and a lot of self reflection. But most people aren't ready for this level of acceptance. Most people aren't ready for this level of what's the word? Accountability. That's the word. So I'm trying to think how I can say this in a short way so I can fit it into a reel. So I don't think anyone's going to be watching this YouTube video anyways. And I'm waiting for the market. Okay. All right. To the people on Instagram Reels. If you deal with anxiety, I want you to listen to this very, very closely, because this genuinely could change your whole outlook on anxiety and life, especially if you're dealing with it personally. Now, I understand that most people deal with anxiety, and this touches quite close to home because I know a lot of people close to me that really have bad anxiety and deal with it on the daily. And me personally, I've gone through a journey of mental health issues where anxiety was a big thing for me, and for years I didn't understand it, right? And so I had to pull myself out of this hole, and the way I did that was by understanding what anxiety is. And essentially, anxiety is just the fear of the unknown, right? It is the lack of control you have over a certain situation. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you guys tonight is because this is something I've practiced over and over again, and this comes from someone that has dealt with anxiety for a long time, and very, very bad anxiety, right? But I've never been a victim of my circumstance. I've just taken time to understand it and learn it. So now I hope I can share it to anyone that's watching that deals with anxiety, because I know it affects a lot of people. So that's what anxiety is, right? So you're probably wondering, how on earth do you fix this? Obviously, it's a very harsh thing to deal with, and what I would tell you is, if anxiety is the fear of the unknown or the lack of control of a situation, how do you eliminate it? By controlling more, right? And this is the part where people do not want to put in the work, right? Because everyone would say, yeah, if I could get rid of my anxiety, that would be great. I'll do it like this. But it's like, you're not prepared to put in the work. And I'm about to share with you like how to deal with this and how to overcome it and come out with a better mindset and framework in your brain, right? And so, bringing me back to the point, if anxiety is the fear of the unknown or the lack of control in a situation, right? You're probably thinking, okay, well, there's only certain things you can control in life. And I'm here to tell you that you can control more than you think you can control in life. Okay, I know there's some things out of your control, but this is where it takes brutal honesty and like a lot of personal accountability and self reflection, which most people don't even want to do. Okay, but that's how you do it, right? You reflect and you have to take responsibility for every single thing that happens in your life. Everything, even if it sounds absurd. And I try to tell people this, but people just think I'm crazy. You know what I mean? But it's true. If you practice taking accountability and responsibility for everything that happens in your life, you will soon realize, right, with practice, you can actually control more than you think you can control. But you're gonna have to put some effort into it and sit down and really be like, listen, what am I anxious about? Okay, I'm anxious about not knowing what's gonna happen with this. Okay, so what can I control? I can control my effort, I can control my attitude. Perfect. Let's put in maximum effort, maximum attitude. Even though the outcome is out of your control, you're minimizing that anxiety and that worry, because you've done so much work in the process to eliminate that. You've put so much more effort and controlling more of the situation, so you feel less anxious, right? You're more prepared, okay? And that's a big thing, and but most people don't want to do it. All right. So if you're someone that deals with anxiety, you got to remember, right? You can control. Think about what you can control. Most of the times, it's effort and attitude, right? But you're gonna have to sit down and really analyze this situation, understand what you can control, right? And sometimes it's going to take you to really be brutally honest with yourself and be like, okay, I should have done this, I should have worked hard on this, etc. So, and literally following this framework it hasn't gotten rid of my anxiety. But now when I'm anxious, I understand, okay, most likely than not, it's because I'm not prepared. So what can I control in this situation? I'll figure it out, I'll reverse engineer it, and then going into whatever it is, I feel less anxious about it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be there, but the best thing you can do in life, right, when you're dealt with difficult cards, is literally work out how to minimize it the most. Okay? And that's the framework that worked for me. So please, if you deal with anxiety, right, practice self-reflection, understand what you can control. Have you put in maximum effort, maximum like your best attitude into it? Okay, and if you have, yeah, what else can you control? And once you start doing those things, you'll realize your anxiety, you cope with it a lot better, and you actually become a better person from it, and better situations come from it. Instead of ending up in a rut, you know, with all this worry in your head, get rid of it. Get rid of it. But yeah, anyways, alright, that's the reel that I'm gonna make. I don't know how long that was, but might have to chop it up into pieces. Alright, what is this freaking thing doing? Bro, I just need something. Okay, you know what? We're gonna look for the... Where is the low? The low is here. The high is here. The low is here. Okay, well, we have actually closed above the 79% extension. So I'm gonna take that. I don't know, like, it just looks like if I enter now, like, there's just not enough volume to reach these highs. I don't know, I could be wrong. But, like, my confluences have hit. But it's just one of those times where I get a weird feeling that it's not going to go the way I want it to go. I don't know why. Um, well, we're in. Actually, no, I can't risk that much. I need to put it under this low here, which is actually here. But, what the fuck? I'm gonna put my stop loss there. Oh, man. I don't know. Thing is, my confluences have hit. You know what I mean? Like maybe I could have been more patient, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna put a limit order of 1 unit, 25, 952, 952. Alright, well. There we go. We're in. What highs am I even reaching for right now? Bruh. Okay, wait, maybe. Alright, there we go. I'm thinking maybe we get rid of this sell limit, bring back both positions up to here, where this sell limit is. What's the risk to reward? Oh, frick. I mean, it's not too bad. I don't know. I just... there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know if it's reaching this high, man. I'm gonna be so real. Like, these are highs from donkeys ago. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I just, yeah. Alright. See, there's just not much, like, volume. Do you know what I mean? Man, I don't know. I think I should have... I mean, not waited, but... I don't know. Is it too risky putting my stop loss here? It's underneath the last low. I might just put it under this fair value gap because this never got filled. So maybe it wants to get filled at some point. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. Because I'm a be real, if it takes this stop loss, I actually don't know. Oh boy. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna stop the video and then start if something exciting happens because this could take all night. But nah, listen, you know what? I'm gonna end the video here because if anything does happen, like this could take like all night. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I'm just gonna cut it here, and then what I'll do in the morning is I'll get back on and I will like review the trade with, and then smash it to a video. Because like genuinely, like it could just be playing games for another hour or so, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, peace out. I'll hopefully wake up with a big smile on my face because we're rich and handsome. But yeah, if not, all goods. Peace out. Alright guys, so it is the next day and we do good. We hit take profit. But one thing I will say about what happened is I originally had my full take profit up here, and then I had my first take profit here and my final one here, up here. But as a last minute decision, I decided to, instead of putting a sell order in, right, I just put both my contracts down to this take profit, because I looked at these highs up here and these were the ones that were like from days ago, and normally in my experience so far they don't have the best chance of getting hit all the time, and so that's why I thought I'd play it safe, take profit here for both my contracts that I put in, and then yeah, and I was right, it didn't even take out this high here, and so I would have been in a bit of a pickle if I had kept it up there. But luckily I trusted myself, I put it down here, we took profit, and yeah, that was the trade last night. That was a 1 to a 3.14 risk to reward ratio. So yeah, anyways, I'll be recording again tonight, so let's get it.